Welcome to another episode of our SaaS Stories podcast. I'm your host, Ash, and this is a show where I interview proven founders and industry experts who share their stories, strategies, and insights to help you build, launch, and grow your SaaS business. In this episode, I talk to Kizito, the founder of Kayndrexsphere. There you go. Kizito, an inspiring entrepreneur on a mission to revolutionize the savings landscape for individuals with limited wealth. Kizito's groundbreaking startup, Kayndrexsphere, aims to empower people with flexible and borderless saving options, opening up new possibilities for financial stability and growth. Kizito's journey began with a fervent desire to pursue further education in Canada. However, faced with the challenges of saving for substantial school fees and the uncertainties of fluctuating exchange rate, Kizito recognized the need for a solution that would enable people to save in multiple currencies and secure their financial future. So, I hope you enjoy it. Okay, Kizito, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Do you have a favorite quote, something that inspires or motivates you that you can share with us?
The quote that inspires me is the quite popular quote by Warren Buffett when he said, "The best investment you can make is in yourself." Um, for me personally, I believe that by investing in yourself, you have a higher chance of experiencing exponential growth in your return on investment. For example, in by starting a business, or even little things like learning one new word every day. Um, this is something I do. I have my own business, and every other day I make sure to learn one new word. And over the years, I've been doing this for almost 4 years now. Over the years, I would say that these are primary drivers when it comes to growing my business and my personal life.
Perfect. So tell us about Kayndrexsphere and what does the product or service do? Who is it for? And what's the main problem you're helping to solve? And correct me if I'm wrong. How do we pronounce the name of the service?
It's Kayndrexsphere.
Kayndrexsphere. Okay, got it.
Okay. Young people, they have the lowest average savings when compared with other individuals in other age groups, and they also have the a very low income as well. So imagine what the lack of financial innovations in the financial industry, as well as the limitations in financial offerings are doing to their financial confidence. So Kayndrexsphere is basically an investment firm that is focused on enabling such individuals, that is including those with low income and low savings, to save and achieve their financial goals. And we do this by providing them with access to affordable borderless savings.
Got it. Okay. So before we, talk about Kayndrexsphere more, understand how the story began, etc. I would like to know more about you. What is your background? Where did you grow up? How did you got into this stage where you figured out this problem in real life, in between the real people, and what motivated you? What part of your um, growing up or your teenager life motivated you to pursue this particular startup?
I The problem we are trying to solve is the problem of individuals um, having low income and low savings to rely on during times of financial emergencies. And the particular individuals we are focused on are actually those with limited wealth, and not individuals that the ones that you can call high net worth individuals or ultra high net worth individuals, or even the mass affluent. But we are focusing on a group that, basically limited wealth in terms of low income and low savings. The idea came to me when, I've always had this desire to further my studies in Canada, and but the hefty school fees posed a challenge to me. I've done visas before, so I sort of understood the risks of fluctuating exchange rates. And with this recognition, I got the desire to, find a financial product or service that would cater to my unique needs. Um, with this desire, I was determined to find the solution. So I think that's basically how I came about, Kayndrexsphere and the problem that we're trying to solve.
Okay, got it, got it. Uh, I would like to understand more about your journey. When did you went to Canada for your studies? How did you figure out this is a challenge? Because the listener are more interested in your personal journeys as a founder, which led you to this startup as a business.
Uh, I that happened back in 2019 when I finished my undergraduate program. I did not end up going to Canada. I came to the United Kingdom instead, and
Mm-hmm.
I recognized the problem when I approached financial institutions and banks for assistance. They offered me expert accounts, and these expert accounts had minimal or no annual equivalent rates. Um, this sort of was not an effective means of savings for me, so I didn't go ahead, using those products and services. One major factor as well was that they were expensive, and I was a student at the time, or I just finished my undergraduate rather, and I had very low income, so these products were ultimately unaffordable for me.
Got it, got it. So you tried to get hold or open an account in the UK for with a high street bank, and you ended up opening an expats account which didn't had the facilities or the product features which you wanted for yourself. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, got it. So what particular features or product characteristics you were looking for into your bank account, which inspired you to start, you know, Kayndrexsphere?
Okay, Kayndrexsphere has two primary features. The first one is the ability to, save in multiple fiat currencies. And this feature is particularly important because, when I was posed with that challenge of, hefty school fees, I was seeking a uh, Canadian account, to save up money for the school fees. But basically, what I got offered was very expensive, like I already mentioned. So, but with Kayndrexsphere, as a user, you'd be able to save in any currency you want. Um, More than the normal number of currencies that are offered by traditional banks and financial institutions. And the second one is the ability to, not actually pay anything when you're saving. So basically, how that works is that we use machine learning technology to project transparent interest income. So what this does is that you tell us the amount you want to save, and basically we project how much you could earn if you had that money at that particular time. And whenever you do have the money, you can always come back to the app and make complete your deposit, and then you gain access to the interest income, sorry, that has accrued.
Okay, got it. So The first feature which Kayndrexsphere um, provides to its end user is you can actually keep multiple currencies into your account.
That's correct.
That's
Yes,
correct. Okay, great. And then the second feature is you don't actually have to pay anything when you're saving.
that's
What
correct.
what exactly that means? Because I have savings in my bank account and I don't pay anything because the bank account is zero balance account and it doesn't have a fee attached to it.
Okay. What that means, I'm not the how do I say this? I'm not like an AI expert or a machine learning expert, but when I did explain it to the member of my team who is responsible for actually building that aspect of the app, he showed it to me, and I went through it. I read up more on how machine learning works. When he proposed that he'll be solving that solution, or rather, he'll be solving that problem by introducing machine learning. What I think, what it's basic, what it's the basic should I say requirement that the solution needs is that you have an input which is your savings target, and then it takes the output, which is basically the interest that you start to earn at that time. So, for example, this year it might be 3%, and next year it might increase, grow up to 3.5%. So, I mean, anytime you're trying to save, that is the output. The interest that exists at that particular time that is offered by Kayndrexsphere will be the output that the system takes and sort of combines it with your input, which is your savings target, to produce its desired result, which is how much you start to earn if you had your savings target like right now. So this is how we this is what we mean when we say you're not actually paying anything to save, and this is particularly important or relevant for young people.
Okay, Kizito. So before we move to understand more about the Kayndrexsphere and how the whole thing started, I would like to know more about you. What's your story? Where did you grow up? What kind of challenges you faced? How you realized that this is something which you can invest your time into to start a new venture in your life.
I am originally from Nigeria. I was born in Nigeria, in the eastern part of Nigeria. I completed my higher education in Nigeria as well. I first came to the UK in 2015, but before then I was in India for my first year of university, and I acquired my higher national certificate from India. And I came to the UK in 2015. I was in South Shields, that's Newcastle, where I got my HND before coming over to Liverpool, United Kingdom, to complete my BSc. Within this period, I'd always had the desire to start a business, and when what I had the problem of furthering my education in a different country. It sort of came to me that okay, this is actually a problem I can solve, because I'd say I'm a bit technical, because I run, so I have a blog, and also I can build websites on uh, website builders like WordPress. So with that skill, I was able to, I knew the right people to reach out to when it comes to how to build a software product. I reached out to them, and they I told them about the problem, and they gave me feedback, and they introduced me to more people, and who ended up becoming consultants for the company. We were able to launch our MVP, last year, with the help of these consultants, and we sort of pushed it out to a very limited group of people for early feedback as well. So that's me, my story, and currently where we are at.
Okay, great stuff. Great stuff. Interesting that you have done your high schools also in UK. But do you mind if I ask you how old you are right now?
I'm 26 years old.
Wow, amazing. I love young entrepreneurs because they have so much time in their hands and they have so much energy, to put into to pursue their dreams. So fantastic. So let's talk about where the story begins. So where did the idea for Kayndrexsphere came from? Is it something which you have felt yourself while you were learning, getting educated in UK or other parts of the world? Or is it something which you and your mates or your friends around you were facing the same way as you were, and then you realize that, okay, this is not just one person's problem, this is faced by a lot of people, or it is just a hunch and you thought, okay, let's work on it. What was it?
Um, I believe it was, I'd say hard work, um, first of all, because as a teenager, I'd always had this, I don't know, I don't know what I'd call it, feeling that, I'd be more than I was when it comes to, living a better life. And because, in our society back then, you can easily differentiate between, the average family and a wealthy family. So it came to me that period that, oh yeah, I'd like to be actually, be be from, or be known to be from a wealthy family. So I put in the hard work. I, started reading financial books especially, and studying uh, prominent people in the industry, um, in the financial field, which was sort of, where my, should I say, my passion was. So when I came across the problem, it was a personal problem. The problem happened to me, and I sort of looked for a solution to solve my problem, and realized that there was actually no solution in the market that could cater to exactly what I needed. I mean, there are similar solutions, but not what I wanted at the time. When I started building, the product, finding ways to solve the solution, I to solve the problem rather, I sought advice from people I know, in the software industry, as well as talk to friends around me, because back then I was in a group of students like myself. uh, we 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 became friends. Some of us even live together. So I told them, okay, this is what I'm actually trying to build. If I build this, would you, use it? What currently, I asked them what they were currently using and how they would sort of compare it to using what we would build, and which they prefer. So I had this earlier, should I say, conversations with people to make sure that, I was building the right product and not just trying to solve a personal problem.
Got it, got it. So you mentioned about the market. So when you had this epiphany, did you looked into the market? Where were there other product? And you mentioned there weren't any product which was solving the exact problem, but something similar. And what was going on at that time, and what did you see from your research that encouraged you to move?
Um, our target market is, I already mentioned, 15 years to 24 years. That is young people within that age range. Currently, there are 1.2 billion young people aged 15 to 24 years in the world, and it makes up 16% of the world population. And this number is expected to grow by 7% uh, in 2030. So, I mean, this I already mentioned are the perfect group of people that we want to sell our products to. So, for example, most of the people in this age group are students. Some of them are actually aspiring entrepreneurs. The products they are currently using, I'd say are limited in their offerings. So, for example, I'll take example from what happened to me. At the time I was looking for a solution to my problem, I came across fintechs, financial technology companies like PayPal, Wise PLC, and Revolut Limited. Um, PayPal, for example, has the ability to, allow you to send money across borders in multiple currencies. That's very similar to what we do at Kayndrexsphere. Wise PLC and Revolut Limited, they also allow you to do cross-border transactions, and also they offer savings accounts in three currencies, which are pounds, euros, and dollars. But the thing there is these currencies are not actually, should I say, a true offering of Revolut or Wise PLC, as the case may be. They are third-party services which are subcontracted from financial institutions and investment management firms and banks. So these banks sort of provide the ability, whether the use of APIs or SDKs to give Revolut and Wise the ability to um, give offer their users with a savings product.
Okay. So I was more interested in your competitors who you studied before starting this startup. But you explained your ICP, who is your ideal customer profile. Have you had done any kind of research on your competitors, or is it something you're still in the progress?
I've done my preliminary research on my competitors. I already mentioned three of them. My three biggest competitors being PayPal, Wise PLC, and Revolut Limited. We differentiate ourselves from them, like I already mentioned, by the way uh, by what we offer to our users, basically. So where Revolut and Wise PLC, they offer savings accounts in three different currencies. We are able to do that in 112 currencies. So not just pounds, euro, and dollars. And they actually subcontract these services to banks and their savings services to banks and financial institutions. But we don't. In the way they are regulated, they are actually not allowed to offer um, interest income on their customers' deposit. But Kayndrexsphere is operating in a different way that allows us to do all of this, and most importantly, provide access to borderless savings, irrespective of where the person is or who the person is. But what we consider is if you are someone with limited wealth.
So, okay, I'm a little confused here. Can 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 you explain me what exactly Kayndrexsphere stands? In which space Kayndrexsphere stand? It's not a bank, right? You mentioned that
No,
already.
no, it's not.
It's an app where people can open their account and then keep balance in different currencies.
That's correct.
But
Yeah,
but I'm guessing you have to be FCA approved to open something which deals with finance, right?
that's correct.
Okay. Now you're saying that your competitors, is PayPal or Evolve, they do allow users to keep the currency in their account with different currencies, keep the money in their account with different currencies. Um, when you do that, don't you have to connect your bank account with these Revolt and I think Revolt is a bank because they open a bank and then they provide you the card for debit card for that account. Whereas PayPal is a online e-commerce, it's an online payment gateway where you can integrate this gateway into your services and then use it to sell your services. So how does Kayndrexsphere differentiate? Is it a app where you can deposit your money? If you deposit the money in Kayndrexsphere, where that money actually holds? Does it goes to Kayndrexsphere's bank account, or where does hold it?
Okay, I'll start by saying that our competitors, the ones I mentioned, are electronic money institutions and payment institutions. So PayPal is a payment institution, and the other two are electronic money institutions. We hope to be regulated as a retail investment firm, and this gives us the ability to actually provide direct deposits, direct interest income on our customers' deposits, and we these deposits we store them in or rather we sort of invest them in high quality stocks. So with the ability that the FCA gives retail investment firms, they can invest in high quality stocks on the stock market, or ETFs, or some companies might choose to invest in things like real estate investment trusts, or even ventures like investing in startups or mid cap or small cap companies. As it depends on what the an actual retail investment firm wants to invest the money in. So that's basically what we call cash. So it's the total amount of investments that a retail investment firm has in it different uh, products or services or companies.
Okay, so Kayndrexsphere is an investment company. It's
That's
an
correct.
investment.
Yes.
The benefit of using Kayndrexsphere or other investment companies is you can actually deposit your money into Kayndrexsphere's investment pot
Uh,
via different currencies.
yes, that's correct. You can deposit in any currency you want. It doesn't matter where you are. You can sign up to the app, pass the verification checks, and any currency you want. Basically, currently there are 112 of them, and this money, it's you don't need to link your account with your local bank account or anything like that. By using open banking and other related services, Kayndrexsphere, it has the ability to actually take customer funds directly, and when they are done saving or there's a financial emergency they need to meet, we also give them the ability to now withdraw money from their Kayndrexsphere account into their local bank account. And that currently is possible in the UK, the United States of America, uh, SEPA, SEPA countries. So that's the single euro payment area, as well as Nigeria in Africa. Uh, we are working on adding more countries to give users the ability to withdraw funds in um, other currencies that I have mentioned, across the world. So we are currently working on integrating more African countries, as well as some countries in Asia and Oceania.
Right. Okay. Now I understood. So let's say hypothetically, if I'm student and I register myself on Kayndrexsphere, and let's say I work in a coffee shop, yeah,
That's correct.
and from there I make, I don't know, 300 pounds a week, and then for a month I have like 100 pounds left after my expenditure. So I decided to invest 50 pounds every month. So what I do is I just uh, do I direct set a direct debit with Kayndrexsphere, which will pull 50 pounds from my account every month automatically, or do I have to transfer it by bank transfer?
Okay.
How does it?
Kayndrexsphere is borderless, and at the current stage that we are in as a pre-product company, I'd say it's not feasible to make bank transfers or direct debit uh, available on our platform. So what we do is give users the ability to fund their Kayndrexsphere account with by their bank cards from their bank card. So this is more of a popular solution when compared to trying to integrate using bank accounts or direct debit as the case may be. So with the ability to fund their account, users can use their bank cards to do this, and then they can choose the currency that they want to save in and basically pay in the £50, when they have it, and start the savings plan with £50 or less. And every other month, they can come back to the app to either make a manual payment, or they can decide to automatically, pay their monthly deposit. So they can tell the app basically to sort of take money from their Kayndrexsphere wallet, so they don't actually have to fund their wallet at the point of asking the savings plan to take the deposit. All they have to do is make sure that at the end of every month they actually send the £50 into their Kayndrexsphere account, and our system takes care of the rest.
Okay, got it, got it. That's interesting. So, apart from I could deposit the money into different currencies, because what I'm thinking right now is if I can deposit money to get in to invest it, investment doesn't always mean that you will get your money back. There's a risk attached to it, right?
That's correct.
And you just mentioned that you guys actually invest the whole pot of money into stocks.
That's correct.
So how does that work for an end user? Do they get to know where the stocks, where which stocks their money is getting invested, or is it all your decision? And then depending upon the profits or losses you make, you redistribute that money. And how often can a user withdraw their money whenever they want, or there's a limit?
Okay. First, I'd say we protect our customer funds by following FCA guidelines and rules. So there is there are particular companies that we actually allowed to invest in. So like I mentioned earlier, these companies tend to be the high quality companies, and not just the FCA rules. It's basically public knowledge that as an investment firm, you should put your money into high quality stocks or ETFs or REITs, depending on the preference of the company. So with the dividend and capital growth that we put in these high quality companies, that's what we use to pay our customers interests. So we take part of that and pay our customers interest, and we reinvest the other part into growing the business, and some of it might also go to the shareholders. So how we do this, we obviously I'm not doing it alone. We employ portfolio managers basically who will manage these investments for us, making sure that following the market to make sure that they they don't lose the money, and reduce risk by diversifying into different industries. And also these portfolio managers, we employ more than one, which basically means that each portfolio manager has an account that he or she manages, which also helps to reduce the risk of saying we lose money or that. And also at the same time, we don't invest all of our customers' funds. So there's a minimum which we are expected to keep in probably a segregated bank account or in cash. We're like in cash in a bank account, I mean, and we're in case of customers need to withdraw their funds real quick, quickly, they can easily access that. And the other part of the customer deposit is what we invest in stocks, ETFs, and other high quality assets. And the customer savings plan is actually yeah, very easily accessible at any time. So whatever deposit you make into a savings plan can be withdrawn at any time you want. And when you do reach your savings target, you also have the ability to either withdraw or not withdraw. So before you reach your savings target, you can withdraw the money at any time. But when you do reach your savings target, the money keeps increasing basically. Or not the capital. For this free version, it's just your interest income that increases. So the longer you leave your money with us, basically, the more interest income you stand to earn. And at any point in time where you have not withdrawn your deposit, um, be rest assured that the money is, still there, because we, as a regulated firm, are not actually allowed to invest our money in anything outside the allowed, and recommended companies and assets.
Okay, so in a nutshell, you're following all the FCA, Financial Conduct Authority protocols. So are you already FCA approved, or are you planning to get approval?
We are planning to get approval. We are currently on the MVP stage, and when we do get to beta testing, we would be joining the FCA sandbox. We've already started looking into, how to do that, and whatever documents that they might need. We've also been talking to, legal consultants and legal firms to find out what documents we will need when the time comes to submit an application for FCA regulation. But yeah, we are in the process of doing that.
Right, great. Have you guys already structured your company in a way that FCA requires? And have you heard about professional uh, indemnity insurance, which is required to open a financial investment company in UK?
Yes, like I've mentioned, we've talked to consultants in that area, and they've told us all about this. So I've since the beginning of this year employed the services of a legal consultant, and whatever information I get from these FCA registration companies, able to pass it on to the legal consultant, who will tend to provide a draft of those documents at least.
Perfect, perfect. That sounds good. So, as we are heading towards the end of this interview, Kizito, what I would like to know is, throughout your journey and experience, there must have been some valuable lessons learned. If you don't mind sharing, could you reflect on your experience and tell us about one mistake or a setback that you encountered along the way that you now consider a regret, or maybe just lessons learned? Um, and what advice would you give our listeners based on this particular experience?
Okay, I'd say for me, the one mistake that I've had in my time as a Kayndrexsphere's founder and chief executive is not taking some opportunities when they come. So I mean, don't get me wrong, as a founder, you'd encounter so many opportunities, and it's up to you to use your best judgment to sort of find the right ones, and let the wrong ones go. So for me, those wrong ones, I actually sometimes regret not taking them, because I feel it's better that I know what it's involved than actually not knowing at all. So on that note, I would say the most important thing, if for someone trying to have a better life, and have the time and the freedom to do whatever they want to do, the most important thing is to not give up on your goal. So you've got to keep your eyes on the prize, basically keep your eyes on the vision, and enjoy what you do, because if you don't enjoy what you do, then basically at some point in your life you're going to give up, and that's not what we want.
Yeah, indeed. Definitely. I can second to that. Okay, great. So, okay, we should wrap up now. We are going in. We what I want to do is to go into the lightning round with you. So I've got like 6 quick fire questions. So yeah, just answer them as quickly as you can. You
Yep.
ready for that?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, great. What's one of the best piece of business advice you have received?
One of the best piece of business advice I've received is to have passion in
Mhm.
what you're doing.
Perfect. What book would you recommend to our audience and why?
Uh, I recommend The Single Best Investment by Howard Lowell, I think. Um, for me, it is a very good financial book that sort of touches, how to actually select the best businesses to invest in, and also touches on the importance of cash flow and the importance of having passion, as well as the patience, the right mindset, and to basically to start a financial company like mine.
Indeed. What's one attribute or characteristic in your mind of a successful founder?
I'd say you should have resilience. For a successful for to be a successful founder. I believe you should be resilient. So you should take obstacles or mistakes as something to learn from, and have the bounce back ability. Um, whatever you're faced with, just see it as something that you're going to learn from, and yeah, you will go from there if you're very resilient.
Okay. What's your favorite personal productivity tool or habit?
um my favorite habit is using Canva. So I'm a creator. I'm a financial content creator. Especially I create other contents, but mostly financial content. And Canva is a very great help when it comes to creating these content.
Couldn't agree more. It's one of the best tools I've used ever. What's a new or a crazy business idea you would love to pursue if you had the time?
Um, if I had the time, I'd say I'd probably be going into aerospace or clean energy.
Perfect. And last but not least, what's an interesting or fun fact about you that most people don't know?
Um, uh, I'd say the interesting fun fact about me is that I'm a DC, should I say, enthusiast. So I love movies that come from the DC universe.
Oh, nice. Who doesn't love that? Well, Kizito, thank you so much for joining me and sharing your story
Okay,
and
thank you very much.
few years of building this business and some of the ups and downs along the way. If people want to check out Kayndrexsphere, what's the website? Would you be able to share?
Yes. Our website is www.kayndrexsphere.net.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
And
okay. Yeah.
is it also available on App Store or Google Play Store?
Yes. Our MVP is currently live on Google and Apple Play stores.
Perfect. Perfect. And if folks want to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Um, Drop me a message on LinkedIn.
Perfect. What's your LinkedIn handle?
Kizito Mokebe.
Awesome. Great. Kizito, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your inspiring journey and the impactful work you're doing through Kayndrexsphere. It's been an absolute pleasure and having you on the SaaS Stories podcast. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you all for tuning in to this episode of our SaaS Stories podcast. I hope you found our conversation with Kizito insightful and inspiring. If you're a founder or industry expert interested in sharing your story on our SaaS podcast, please don't hesitate to reach out. Simply email me at ash@artcircles.com and let's connect for a potential interview opportunity. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe to our podcast and stay updated on future interviews with proven founders and industry experts. We have a lineup of incredible guests and valuable insights coming your way. Stay inspired, stay motivated, and keep building.